Alright guys, so once again I would like to report about the destruction of the economy of the European Union. And today I'm going to start with this article here, which is devastating for us Europeans and for the economy now and in future. So first of all, they have made new CO2 prices, taxes on CO2. So last year the price was 45 euros per ton and now it's 55 euros. But that's not the worst thing. So 2026 the price will rise to 65 euros. And then also in 2027 they will switch to a certificate system. And this is going to break our neck, okay? So they will implement this ETS certificate system for 2 areas of heating and transport. Also maritime transport will be required to pay a CO2 tax for the first time as well. So with the new law, which is now passed in the Bundestag, consumers must prepare for rising costs. The new CO2 pricing system does not set a fixed price. Instead, the price is determined on a kind of emissions exchange. Companies that want to emit CO2 must buy certificates for this. The European Union regularly decides how many certificates there are in total and reduces this number over time. This creates price pressure that is based on the supply and demand of available certificates. So it's an artificial system that they are going to put on our products, which is just going to make our products more expensive. And this then will cause people to consume less because the product is more expensive. And of course, if people have less money because of the recession, then they will buy less products. Hence, you will have less CO2. So even if the demand for a product remains high, the product becomes more expensive and over time becomes less attractive for consumers. This is intended to encourage people to switch to low emission products, for example, by switching from a combustion engine to an electric car or from a gas heating system to a biomass heating system. Here they're saying that they cannot estimate how high the price will be then, because it will be like a free market for certificates. So here they're saying it is very difficult to estimate how much a ton of CO2 will cost in the European Union from 2027 onwards. After all, it all depends on how far we have come with climate protection by then. Nevertheless, researchers are constantly trying to investigate exactly this. They estimate that the range of the CO2 price will be between 100 and 300 euros per ton of CO2. Can you imagine that? We are already in a really precarious situation here in Europe. And right now the price is 55 euros per ton of CO2. But imagine if the price goes up to 300 euros. So guys, this is really crazy. We are witnessing the complete destruction of the European economy, and it will be incredibly expensive to make a living here in Europe. All right, the next problem in Germany is this here. This is a huge problem. So on one side, they want you to pay for CO2 and to switch to renewable energy sources. But if you actually have invested in a solar system, now they want to end the tariff that you get if you feed in your electricity into the grid. A new era begins for solar owners. The existing coalition government and the union have adopted a new energy restructuration plan. The Bundestag has passed a bundle of energy laws that are intended to set a new course for energy transition. Among other things, the so-called Solar Peak Act was passed, which ushers in a new era of feed-in tariffs. The law was passed by the SPD, the Greens and the Union, which is the Conservative Party. Abolition of feed-in tariffs during sunny periods. The amendment provides for the abolition of the feed-in tariff at a certain time and is intended to increase incentives to store the electricity generated. So here they're saying that a lot of homeowners have invested in solar energy, mostly because of the incentives, because you will get money if you feed in your electricity into the system. So it was a little bit of an investment, but it would pay back, and then you would have a really low energy bill, electricity bill. And that's a good thing, you know, but now they will cut off the feed-in tariff now you have invested in a PV system, but you don't get the return of investment anymore that you have expected. Most of your income is generated in summertime when it's sunny, but when it's too sunny, they will just turn off your PV with the smart meter, or they will just pay you less money. All right, so now let's take a look at news in other European countries. For example, here they are writing that the unemployment rises more than 10% in the last quarter in Portugal. Yeah, then also we have the boss of the German Social Democrat Party, so it's basically the Socialist Party, and she is demanding a wealth tax to support the war in Ukraine. And this lady here is wishing for $500 million US dollars each month. So she wants to send 500 million US dollars each month to the Ukraine to support the war and the killing and the murder of people. So this is her wish. And of course, for war, you need a lot of money, right? Yeah, then also we have Mark Rutte, and he is saying that we have to prepare for war, and he's also demanding higher defense expenses from Germany. So they really want us to mentally prepare for war. But, you know, a lot of people don't want that. And if you're a hippie like me, you don't want to participate in any war, and you certainly don't want to financially support it. So I really hope that soon we will get different politicians who leave us and other people of the earth alone. Also here, an economist is warning that life in Europe will become unaffordable because of the euro price shock. So here they are saying that the inflation is already rising again. So in Austria, for example, it's right now 3.3% of inflation. He's also saying that households with low incomes are suffering the most, and that the government has just missed every opportunity to help low-income households. Yeah, then also in the European Union now it's allowed to put insect flour into real flour. So in 100 grams of flour there can be up to 4 grams of worm flour. And they are saying, oh, it's a great source of vitamin D. Crazy, right? Guys, if you want vitamin D, I have a source which is for free. It's called the sun, and you can just sunbathe in the summer. But of course here in Austria, in the northern countries, you have to take vitamin D in wintertime, because otherwise you will be deficient. But eating worms, I don't think this will be sufficient, so better take some supplements. Yeah, then also we have a natural disaster unfolding in Europe. So right now in Santorin there's earthquakes going on, and it's around the caldera of the island, of the Greek island Santorin. And apparently 2/3 of the inhabitants have already fled the island, either with the airplane or with the boat. So this is the region in the Aegean Sea where this is unfolding. And yeah, they are now fearing that there will be a huge tectonic shift and a huge earthquake, and also there's a great risk that a tsunami will come and just destroy the island. So this is why the schools are now closed and a lot of people have already left the island. Yeah, then we also have other news from other European countries. Here, for example, we have news from Portugal. So they are saying that the unemployment rate rises more than 10% in the last quarter, which is really bad. Then also we have a Spanish newspaper which is reporting that the car dealers in Navarra warn of a slowdown in demand of plug-in cars. So apparently the public aids from European funds have been reduced for purchases of new electric cars by 4,500 euros. And that has caused a real stampede of potential plug-in car customers. Yeah, I have to say I'm really glad that I've never bought an e-car, because if you do a little bit of research, you will learn that it's actually not that great. So I have to say I'm really glad that I've stuck with my old 15-year-old diesel Audi, and I'm super glad that I've never bought into electric cars, electric vehicles. So I'm really glad that I'm still driving my old car, and it's great. The mechanic said it's awesome and it will drive at least 5 more years. Alright guys, so this is it for today. I really want to thank you for watching, and also I want to thank you for your support. There are only 13 pieces of my survival knife left. So if you're interested in this knife, make sure that you visit my website in the description below. It will support my channel. And also if you're interested in more news from Europe, then make sure that you're subscribing to my channel. And I've decided to bring out these news videos 4 times a month now. So I try to make a video every Sunday about the situation here in Europe. Alright, so this is it for today. I really want to thank you for watching and stay tuned. Till next time.